Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you guys how to make a special Mother's Day cake that I made for my mom. It's a watering can filled with flowers. To get started, I have lined two 6-inch pans with parchment paper. We're going to need a total of 4 pans. It's going to be 4 separate cakes. I'm filling these with my blueberry cake batter, and I'm going to bake these at 350 degrees until a toothpick inserted in the center of each cake comes out clear. Once my cakes have cooled, I'm going to remove them from the pan and I'm going to level the tops off. After they've all been leveled, I'm going to stick my bottom layer onto the cake board with a little bit of buttercream frosting, and then I'm going to start filling each layer with buttercream and stacking them on top of each other. Smooth the buttercream around and start giving it a crumb coat, let it chill, and then add some more buttercream and then let that chill again. Now I'm going to measure the height and circumference of my cake so I can know how big and wide to roll out my fondant, and then I'm going to cut out a strip of fondant that's the same height and width as the cake. Once I've reached the adequate size strip, I'm going to roll it over my small rolling pin and then unroll this around the cake. I'm join my two ends and then I'm going to use my fondant smoother to smooth them out. I'm using my X-Acto knife to trim off the bottoms and trim off that overlapping flap where the ends meet. And then I use my fondant smoother once again to smooth everything out. I'm going to let this chill for a bit so that the fondant is stiff enough so that we can trim off the extra fondant on the top of the cake. I'm just using my X-Acto knife and running it along the edge so that we have a nice smooth top. Now I'm using some light green fondant and rolling it out to the size of the cake, which is a 6-inch. I'm using a cake board as my guide, and I'm going to place this at the very top of the cake. Now I'm rolling out a really thin fondant tube, and I'm place this around the border at the top of the cake. Now I'm using some modeling chocolate, and I'm going to roll out a pretty thick tube to be the handle part of the cake. I insert some lollipop sticks to the ends of the handle, and then I'm going to stick those to the side of the cake. Using some more modeling chocolate, I'm going to sculpt the spout part of the cake using 2 separate pieces. I'm going to make the long part and then I'm going to make the circular part. And I'm going to connect these using some melted candy melts and a big straw. I'm going to let the candy melts and modeling chocolate set, and then I'm going to use some Color Mist Spray by Wilton to spray the spout. Now I'm going to pierce a hole where I want the spout to hang from, and I use some candy melts and of course the straw that's sticking out to support this spout. I'm going to use something to hold it and help support it to keep it in place. Add more melted candy melts behind the spout and all around it. I'm going to brush candy melts. I just want to make sure that it's really well supported. And then I'm going to stick the entire cake in the freezer to let everything set up. Once the cake has completely set, I spray the entire cake with some more silver color mist spray. While my cake is setting in the fridge again, I move on to the decorations part. I'm using some artificial flowers and a wire cutter to trim the flowers to fit perfectly on top of the cake. Now I'm going to add our trimmed flowers and just pierce them through the top of the cake. To make the spout look more realistic, I use a toothpick and poke some holes in it. Now I'm adding some wafer paper butterflies to the very top. And to finish it off, I add a fondant banner that says Happy Mother's Day. Thank you guys so much for watching my tutorial on how to make this beautiful watering can Mother's Day cake. We made the spout out of modeling chocolate and the handle as well, and we have the artificial flowers and the wafer paper butterflies on top. It is just so beautiful and it looks so realistic. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned next week for another tutorial. Bye bye.